Hello everyone, my name is Sam from the Twinsburg Public Library, and today we're going to do a kind of quick tutorial on how to uh, download and install and use the Skype, which Skype, if you didn't know, is it's a video conferencing software, so a lot of people use it to make video calls back and forth, so it might be a useful thing to use. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on the internet, and we're going to open up, in this case I have Firefox on my desktop here at home. You may use another internet browsers. Usually the most common ones are like Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer. So open up your internet browser of choice by double clicking on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to www.google.com, and then in the search bar we're going to search for Skype. So you should see a couple options pop up. This first one right here is what you're looking for. Make sure it says www.skype.com. Go ahead and click on it. And what makes it easy is you can just straight up download Skype right there from the front page. So click on the download Skype button. And here's, you got a couple choices. You can get Skype on your mobile phone. So that might be something that's you'd be more interested in, but not what we're going to cover here in this video. Instead, we're just going to click on this download Skype. I'm using a Windows machine, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on it. If you happen to have a Mac, or if you are running Linux, which is another operating system, you want to click on this little arrow here next to where it says Windows and choose the correct operating system that you're using. More than likely, though, you're going to be either downloading it for Windows or Skype. Alright, so this little box up here opens up, and what we're going to do is it's just an executable file, which means it's an installer for Skype. We're going to click Save File, and it's going to download. Usually, depending on what your download settings are like, it may open right up right away, but if it doesn't, in Firefox, there's this little button for the Downloads folder, so you're just going to click on the arrow here, and then click on the installer file. You might have to go to your Downloads folder, or if you're using Google Chrome, it will appear on the bottom of the screen. Now, you might get an admin approval for it, which basically you just gotta click on yes. I'm not sure if my screen capture software caught that, so it might just be a blank screen right there for a minute. Usually it's just a box that appears in the middle of the screen that says, you're required to, this software is asking for permission to install things or make changes to your computer. You're just going to click yes. All right. So this installer box has opened up, and we're just going to click install, and it's going to go through the install process. It takes a few seconds depending on your computer's speed. Okay, so now that Skype has been downloaded and you installed it, this window here should pop up for you. So if you happen to have a Skype account, or with either an email or phone number, or you happen to have a Microsoft account, you can go ahead and just sign in using those credentials, and you'll be all set to start using Skype. However, some of you may not have that, so I'm going to walk you through the account creation process. It's pretty easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, where it says no account right here, we're going to hit create one. So we can use an email or a phone number for this. Since my phone number already has this Microsoft account associated with it, we're going to use an email instead. So we're going to use email instead. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a email address here. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so got to grab that email address. We're going to hit next. All right, so after you give it the email address, we're going to have to create a password for the email. So it has to have, I don't know, I think it has to have at least 8 characters in it. So we're just going to create something here. There we go. You create your own password at home. So, don't tell anyone else that password unless you trust them. Then it's going to ask you for some information from you. So let's see here. We're going to do that. That's my name. And this will birth year, so you can see how old I am. Oh, there we go. Alright, so here's an important part. So after you put in all of your information, they're going to send you a code to the email address that you gave them. So in this case, this email address here. And what I'm going to go do is, as soon as, there we go. And so what we're going to do is when you get logged into your email, you're going to you're going to have a email with a security code in it. So in this case, it is, I'm looking at it right now, 6644. It's usually just a 4-digit number, nothing too complex. It's just a kind of a security thing, just to make sure that you are who you say you are, essentially. All right, cool. So we entered that code in, and then we enter the CAPTCHA. Another security measure. So it is, in this case with Microsoft accounts, or at least with this process, it is case sensitive. So as best you can tell, and I may mess this up here. I had trouble earlier when I ran through this on my own. MDV. Yeah, and make sure with this one it is case sensitive and all one word. There's no space or anything like that. Hey, it worked. Yay, I didn't mess up it up this time. Okay, so now Skype is going to go through the process of setting up everything. So you're going to choose your profile picture. We're not going to do that here for the purposes of this tutorial. And here it's testing our audio. So you can see is, as I'm talking, it is picking up my voice on this mic that I'm using. So it's using the microphone, my computer's microphone. It's picking it up, so you can tell that it's actually working. It's automatically adjust microphone settings. That's if you don't want to mess with them. You can manually set those if you want, but we're not going to do that here. We're just going to let the computer do what it wants to do what it thinks it's right. And the speakers, we'll just leave that at default. These 2 buttons here, test audio, it will play some audio through the speakers and make sure that they're working. And then make a free test call it will make a test call essentially to make sure your microphone's working and all that. All right, after we confirm all this, we're gonna hit continue. Now this is where it's gonna show you, there we go. You can see me here, and my kind of messy office in the background here. But so this is going to show you, it picked up my webcam that I've plugged in my computer and just testing your video. So we're going to hit continue because we can see here it's working. All right. And at any point there is a button up here on the right that you could use to skip. Okay, so now that we're here in the Skype software, this is pretty much what it looks like. You will have your chats, because you can use right here, so you can have both like text chats, kind of like a texting service on your phone, or video chats. Every single conversation you have is just kind of stored here. Calls are video and phone calls you can use, and if you sync up your Skype account to a phone number, you can also make video calls and stuff like that through a phone. Excuse me, voice calls, not video calls. Contacts are going to be just the different contacts that you have put in. If you use your Microsoft account to sign in, it would take your contacts from your Microsoft account and import them into Skype. Otherwise, you can add them manually using this new contact here. You can also find people who um, who have a Skype account and it's publicly available. Just to, and you can search for people if you know they have a Skype account. Essentially, notifications are just if you happen to have notifications like hey, you got a message, or this person tried to call you. You had a call that lasted for 15 minutes or what have you. Okay, so we're gonna to make a call. Probably one of the easiest ways to do that is if you're calling someone is you're going to go over to your contacts menu here. So in your contacts, you'll see everyone that you know essentially, or at least have their Skype accounts linked to your account essentially. Not necessarily linked, but you know it exists. So because our account is a new account, we're not going to have that here. We just have the echo sound test and Skype translator. For the purposes of this video, we're just going to do the echo sound test because it's going to show you exactly what the call is going to look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the echo sound test, and then this phone thing icon up here is going to be an audio call. Now the echo sound test service doesn't have video call option because it is kind of a robot essentially, and there's no webcam for it. So when we go and click on it, there you go, it switches over. So this is what the call looks like when you go to call someone in Skype. There's a couple things. Now, the only difference between this and an audio call is in an audio call, this little headphone icon here will be replaced with a picture of the person you are chatting with. You either their icon, either like their webcam stream feed, or the icon, the picture from their profile picture. So anyways, a couple things to keep note of here. There is this button down here, which is the microphone settings. You can mute yourself. This is the video settings. If we were, it ended here. If we were doing a video call, we would have this. You can turn your camera on and off. And there is also the button to end a call here. There's also a conversation tab you can open up like that, and you can send text messages essentially back and forth, but where you could chat like if you don't want to do it with a microphone. Either way will work. But we're pretty much done with this. I just wanted to give you a quick tour of this window. And you can also up here make it full screen by clicking on this button up here. It looks like a rectangle with a couple things around the corner, and hit enter full screen. It will make the call full screen. And so we're going to end the call here. So that's pretty much it. That's for the quick little Skype tutorial here. If you have any other questions about this, feel free to drop us an email or come in and ask us when we're open. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a great day. Bye-bye.